Well, I mentioned Dan Brown earlier, and he wanted just to use the story for his own purposes, and that isn't my objective. My objective is to dedicate myself to the story and to grasp the internal processes that any person experiences. But in the case of Christ, this involved his emerging realization of his calling, of the nature of his ministry. In actual fact, what I was talking about is his learning curve as he evolved and developed that understanding. And of course, ultimately, he understood his life in relation to the will of God and what, therefore, ultimately it would mean. We see it in the death and the resurrection. But as far as Kazantzakis is concerned, I feel a greater affinity to his work because he talks or tries to understand what it would have been like for Jesus as a human being and yet burdened with that internal experience of the presence of the Christ. Well, I try to think of Jesus as more man, mortal, than he represents him. In the last temptations of Christ, of course, that he introduces some ideas and concepts and a broader consciousness than is generally thought of in relation to Jesus. And I think I took ideas from that in considering what else was going on in Jesus' head. I mean, all we've got is a few hours of conversation, you know. There must have been a lot more going on, especially as it was over a period of as much as 6 or 7 years of ministry. So there's a huge amount, huge number of events, huge number of people, huge number of parables and teachings that we never had, never will have, of course.